Welcome to another episode of XP Overland. Today, we're going to talk about communications. We're going to talk about some of the things that I feel like are essential if you do any backcountry exploration, especially by yourself, and a few things that are, in my opinion, just a little bit helpful. But overall, we're going to talk about 4 or 5 different forms of communication while off-roading or in the backcountry. The first thing, obviously, is going to be your cell phone. Cell phone is great when you're traveling into town and when you have self-service, but you should never ever rely on that as your sole source of communication. The second item that I'm going to talk about is a Peplink Pepwave Wi-Fi device. And this is a commercial device that gives you Wi-Fi in your vehicle or at your campsite using, again, cell service. It does have external antennas and a GPS built in as well. It has a better antenna than your cell phone, so you can pick up weaker signals, and it is faster than tethering to your cell phone. Again, you have to have cell service for that to work. Now, it does have 2 SIM slots, so you can have AT&T and Verizon, for instance. So if you lose signal with one, it'll connect to the other, which is handy because you may be in an area that isn't covered well by AT&T but is covered well with Verizon, and you can still maintain cell signal and have your Wi-Fi. As soon as I get to a good stopping spot here, I'm going to show you a couple of other devices. I'm going to roll a little B-roll here and show you my Midland radio that I have installed in my Subaru. When you're out in the backcountry and you're off-roading, especially with a group, if you're doing a trail with a group of other drivers, having a good radio is, I think, essential. My Midland MXT275 has a good range. I haven't done a real test of, the absolute range on it, but it is, touted to have a good 40 to 50 mile range in open country, and about a 5 to 10 mile range in town. My buddy Sean, who you saw his 4Runner in the previous video briefly, and you will see more of Sean as we go along with XP Overland. He has the same radio, and we can talk back and forth. It is a GMRS radio, which does require an FCC license to get. There's no test to take or anything like that for it, but it is $70 here in the US if you're watching outside the US. It is $70 for 10 years, and it covers your friends and family, or at least covers your family. So it is nice. A lot of off-roaders had CBs, and they've been changing over to the GMRS radios because they are better, they sound better, they've got much better range, and you can use just it will communicate with the FRS radios as well. And the FRS radios are just the regular walkie-talkies that you can get, and communicate you know, with your kids and stuff like that. But you have a GMRS radio and handheld walkie-talkie. These are great for, you know, communicating with a spotter, and this is a good way to communicate too. This is a Cobra GMRS radio, so it's got a little bit better range as well. This one is, I don't know if you can see it there, this one is waterproof and it floats. So the cool thing about it floating and being waterproof is my buddy Sean and I, we go kayak fishing, and this is a great way for us to communicate while we're out on the water. And you know, if you drop it in the water, it'll float, you can pick it back up and you haven't lost your radio. But this is a good radio. So I really feel like some of the essential items that you have with you when you're off-roading, especially with a group, is some sort of a GMRS radio so you can communicate with others in the group, a walkie-talkie, so if you have a spotter and you're doing some iffy areas, that you can communicate with that spotter easier, and they can let you know without you sticking your head out the window and going, eh. The most important item that everyone going into the backcountry by themselves especially, but anyone going out and away from civilization should have, is this little guy. This is the Garmin inReach Mini, and this is a satellite communicator. It does have this SOS button on there that you have to open to press it. So if you are in a life-threatening situation, you can press that and search and rescue will be on their way to rescue you. It is a satellite communicator, so you can send text messages. This one, I've got it set up on a $50 a month plan, which gives me unlimited tracking and unlimited text messages. But it does pair with your phone, so even if you don't have cell service, you can text from your phone using the EarthMate app. And it takes a little bit longer to send the text message and receive one than traditional cell phones do, but you can be in the middle of freaking nowhere, and as long as you have a clear view of the sky, you can send text messages and let your friends and family know where you are and that you're safe. And if there's an emergency that's not life-threatening, you can send a message to someone. I carry this thing with me whenever I go on hikes, whenever I go kayaking, whenever I go overlanding, fly fishing, anything, because you never know when you'll need it. And I like to go to remote places where I don't have cell service. So the cell phone, the walkie-talkie, the vehicle mounted radio, and the Peplink Wi-Fi device, those are all great and wonderful when you have someone nearby that can pick up your GMRS radio when you've got cell service. But when you're in the middle of nowhere with no service and a clear view of the sky, this is an essential piece of gear. This allows you to communicate, and it's just kind of nice when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you set up your camp. You can just send a quick message and say, I made it to camp, all's good, it's beautiful here, wish you were here. But this is a tiny little guy that is super important, and I highly recommend, beyond any other form of communication for backcountry travel, to have a satellite communicator of some sort. I found that this was the best option for me. It may not be the best option for you, but I overanalyze everything and I research stuff to death, and this is the item that I came up with, so I highly recommend that this be a part of your kit. Whether you're a fly fisherman out in the bitter roots by yourself, or you're backpacker hiking the Appalachian Trail, or you're an overlander traveling through Baja, this is the most important piece of communication gear that you can carry with you. So, with that being said, I will sign off today and see you guys on the road somewhere else. All right. Off we go again. So if you enjoyed this episode of XP Overland, please be sure to like and subscribe. I am just getting started and I appreciate every single one of my subscribers, and I appreciate anyone who's viewed my videos. As awkward and dorky as I am on camera, I do super appreciate that you guys are watching. See you guys next time.